There is this psychological fact that most men ignore until it is far too late. The most dangerous threat to your relationship isn't the man she just met. It is the man she tells you not to worry about because he is just a friend who needs her help. You are currently witnessing the empathy hijack. You see her spending hours on her phone giving emotional support to another man, and when you speak up, she tells you that you are being insecure. You aren't just overthinking, you are being the victim of the emotional replacement cycle. Behavioral observations suggest that when a woman begins to prioritize the problems of another man over the peace of her own household, the betrayal has already begun in her mind. You are the victim of the boundary blur. You're watching the person you loved build an emotional bridge to someone else while using your stability to keep her feet dry. You're witnessing a psychological operation where your trust is being used as a shield to hide her transgression. You're the victim of the gaslight guardrail. Today, we are breaking down the specific red flag of the damaged friend and why your desire to be a secure man is the very thing she is using to blindfold you. If you don't watch this until the final second, you are choosing to stay the provider for a woman who is already the confidant for someone else. The most brutal realization for a man is that the nothing he chose to believe in was actually the everything she was giving away behind his back. Men, this channel is more than content. It's a brotherhood that exists for those who refuse to be controlled, distracted, or broken. My ex told me men today are too weak, too distracted, and too controlled to ever unite. I didn't argue. I decided to prove her wrong. Every man who subscribes is proof that discipline, self-respect, and strength still exist. If you stand for truth, self-control, and knowing your value as a real man, if you're here to sharpen your mindset and live with standards, subscribe and stay, like this video, and make your presence known in the comments. Let's see who's serious and is ready to prove doubters wrong, because after this video, you'll be reborn as a new man who has discovered himself and is ready to take back his manhood. Make sure to subscribe and stay ahead because we are just getting started. We have to look at the mechanics of the emotional affair. You see, brothers, a physical betrayal rarely happens in a vacuum. It is preceded by months of micro-leads. Behavioral patterns show that the red flag men ignore is when a woman starts sharing the inside jokes and deep secrets of the relationship with an outsider. You are the victim of the triangulation tactic. You think you are being a supportive partner by letting her have male friends, but you are actually experiencing the slow-motion replacement. Your brain is screaming that something is wrong, but you suppress your masculine intuition because you've been told that jealousy is weakness. This leads us to the vulnerability gap. You are being psychologically displaced by a woman who is feeding another man the intimacy that belongs to you. You are the victim of the attention theft. The most dangerous part is the savior complex. She tells you this other guy is going through a hard time. She says she's just helping him. Behavioral observations suggest that this is a bonding strategy. By helping him, she creates a shared emotional intimacy that excludes you. You are being spiritually liquidated by a person who is using your good nature to subsidize her emotional infidelity. You are the victim of the altruism mask. She isn't being a good person, she is being a new partner in disguise. I want to tell you about a man named Damien. Damien was a successful contractor, a man who believed in absolute trust. His wife Sarah had a friend from college named Mark. Mark was always struggling with his career and his own marriage. Sarah would spend hours on the phone with Mark, telling Damien, "He has nobody else to talk to, honey." Damien was the loser in this story because he chose the blind trust protocol. When Damien felt a knot in his stomach seeing Mark's name pop up at 11 p.m., he didn't set a boundary. He told himself he was better than that. He didn't want to be that guy who checks phones. He was the victim of the integrity trap. One weekend, Damien went away for a work trip, and Sarah invited Mark over to help him fix his resume. Damien came home to find a life he didn't recognize.
Sarah didn't apologize. She told Damien that Mark understood her in a way Damien never could. Damien failed because he didn't realize that a red flag is a stop sign, not a suggestion. He spent the next year in divorce court, watching the house he built be sold to pay for Sarah and Mark's new beginning. He was the victim of the intuition neglect. You have to recognize the psychology of the just a friend. When a woman insists on maintaining a close bond with a man who clearly has an interest in her, she's performing a value comparison. Behavioral observations show that she is keeping you as the primary resource while using him as the emotional backup. You are the victim of the dual-track strategy. She wants your protection, but his perspective. You are being psychologically eroded by a woman who is testing the limits of your tolerance. This leads us to the gaslight defense. The moment you ask a question about the frequency of their texts, she turns it on you. She says you are controlling. She says you are just like her ex. You are the victim of the projection shield. Behavioral patterns suggest that when a person is guilty of emotional wandering, they will attack the moral authority of the person who catches them. You are being socially and mentally isolated in your own relationship. You are the victim of the false narrative. The loser's loop is the man who tries to compete with the other guy. You start buying more gifts, you start being extra nice, you think you can win her back from a man who hasn't even taken her yet. But you are the victim of the value deficit. Behavioral patterns suggest that once a woman has opened the emotional gate to another man, your extra effort just looks like desperation. You are being psychologically looped into a cycle of performing for a judge who has already made her decision. You have to realize that the red flag wasn't a mistake, it was an invitation for you to leave before she did. The final stage of this first section is understanding the biological signal of the betrayal. This is the stage where your gut feeling becomes a physical sickness. You are being physically drained by the constant hypervigilance of living with a woman who is present but gone. Your body knows the truth before your mind is willing to accept it. You are the victim of the intuition conflict. The man you used to be was a man who believed that love conquers all, but you now know that boundaries protect all. You have to let the naive version of yourself die. You have to realize that the pain in your chest is the alarm system telling you that your sanctuary has been breached. If you are still looking for proof in her text messages while the proof is already written in her behavior, you are voluntarily staying blind in a room full of light. You need to understand the concept of the transparency standard. The man who actually wins this battle isn't the one who catches her in a lie, it's the man who realizes that a woman who creates private corners in her life has already evicted him from her heart. You're the victim of the shadow relationship. You're competing with a ghost, a man who gets all the good version of her while you get the leftovers and the attitude. You're witnessing a psychological shift. She didn't forget to tell you about that lunch date. She omitted it because she's already practicing a life without you in it. You're the victim of the incremental betrayal. Behavioral observations show that infidelity isn't a mistake that happens overnight. It's a series of 1,000 small doors that you allowed her to leave unlocked. Today, we are finishing the blueprint of the discerning sovereign. We are looking at the final tactical shifts, the enforcement of the glass house policy, the science of the gut check, and the mastery of the instant exit. I'm going to show you why a man's insecurity is often just his intelligence picking up on a signal she's trying to jam. If you don't watch this until the final second, you're choosing to be the safety school in her mind while she's secretly applying to another university. The most powerful move a man can make is recognizing that if he has to investigate his partner to find the truth, the relationship is already over. Because trust doesn't require a detective, it requires a teammate. I know men with standards are here. If you value discipline, respect, and strength, subscribe, like, and comment. We have to talk about the sovereignty of the narrative break. You see, brothers, once that red flag of the friendship has been waved, the old relationship is dead. Behavioral observations suggest that the winner is the man who refuses to participate in a shared delusion. You are being neurologically reclaimed the moment you stop accepting lies as explanations. You are the victim of the false peace until the day you decide that your mental health is more important than her social life. This leads us to the science of the accountability standard. Most men think that being cool and relaxed makes them more attractive. This is a behavioral error. It actually signals to a partner with low boundaries that the fence is down. You are the victim of the low boundary buffet. Behavioral patterns show that the only way to maintain a high-value union is through active transparency. You are being psychologically reset. By shifting your focus from hoping she's faithful to observing her patterns, you remove the blindfold. I want to tell you about a man named Kellen. Kellen was a man of high standards and even higher awareness. When his girlfriend, Maya, started talking about her new life coach, a guy she was texting at odd hours, Kellen didn't play the insecure game. He didn't yell, he didn't check her phone in the dark.
Kellen was the winner in this story because he chose the immediate standard. He sat Maya down and said, "I don't do private friendships with other men in my relationships. It's a boundary for my peace. If you need that connection with him, you are free to have it, but you will have it as a single woman." He was the victim of the initial guilt trip. Maya tried to call him controlling. She tried to say he didn't trust her. Kellen didn't argue. He simply started packing his things. He realized that her defensiveness was the confirmation. Kellen won because he realized his peace was his priority. He didn't wait for the physical betrayal to happen. He left while his dignity was intact. 6 months later, he found out Maya and the coach were together, and it was a mess of drama and debt. Kellen won because he understood that the red flag wasn't a challenge to overcome. It was a signal to eject. He won because he didn't give her the satisfaction of a slow burn. He was the sovereign of his own exit. You have to recognize the biological signal of the sovereign leader. This is a biological fact. When a man stops accepting disrespect and starts enforcing reality, his stress levels drop and his internal authority rises. You are the victim of the beta simp stress response as long as you are trying to believe the lie. But the moment you accept the brutal truth, your clarity returns. You are being biologically optimized to find a partner who values your frame rather than one who tests it. The winner's protocol is about the sovereignty of the intuitive frame. You have to look at your life and realize that you are the chief intelligence officer of your own heart. No one gets to call you crazy for noticing what they are doing. You are the sovereign man. You recognize that trust is a living thing that requires truth to breathe. You are being hardened for the kingdom. Healing is the realization that the nothing she told you to believe in was the warning shot that allowed you to save your own life. You are being reforged. You now know that a red flag is just information. You are the master of your own psychology. You don't need a confession to know you deserve better. You need observation. You are the sovereign man. You are the master of your own destiny. You don't look back at the friend she told you not to worry about. You look forward at the man you became by refusing to be played for a fool. So, here is the smart question for the brotherhood today. If you saw a stranger treating your brother or your best friend the way she is treating you right now, would you tell him to trust the process, or would you tell him to trust the red flag? I want to hear from the men who trusted their gut and walked away. How did it feel when the truth finally came out and you realized you weren't the crazy one?
For the brothers who are currently wanting to believe it's nothing, be honest. Are you staying because you trust her, or are you staying because you're afraid of the pain that comes with being right? Drop your story in the comments. Your perspective might be the evidence the brother next to you needs to finally stop believing and start seeing. This channel is for men who are done blaming themselves for other people's choices. If that's you, don't leave as a spectator. Subscribe and stay ahead because we're just getting started. Support the message, speak in the comments, and stand with the men who choose clarity over confusion. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay cold,